Okay, so we are going to go over some safety regarding our bow making machine. So I'm going to apologize in advance. It's really hard to get a good angle on this. So you guys are looking at the back side of the machine. I am looking at the front side of the machine, or where the operator of the machine would stand. So I'm going to apologize. It may be a little bit hard to see. So this is our bow making machine. We use this to make bows for vase arrangements, so like for Valentine's Day, Mother's Day. Also, we use it to make large bows for holiday wreaths and things like that. So we like to use this because it is something that if you were in industry, you would use. It also makes a consistent bow. It's very easy if we're making bows by hand to be inconsistent with like the amount of ribbon that we use and things like that. So this makes a consistent bow every single time that we use it. So some things regarding the safety of this machine. So you guys can see this head right here. Let me see if I can kind of change the angle a little bit. So this head right here, this moves back and forth. So it glides. So one thing that you want to make sure is that the head of this is always pushed all the way back. Make sure that your table, our lab tables, the legs on them are not the greatest. And so you need to make sure to, give your table a little bit of a push and see if it rocks. So make sure your table is balanced so that this does not come forward and like hit your hands, okay? You guys can also see this big yellow part right here. So on the front of this in very big bold letters, it says finger guard. So covering this is a blade. So this blade is what actually we go through to cut the ribbon to make our bow with. And so if I take this off, you guys may or may not be able to see it, but right here there is a rather sharp blade that can cut you. It can also, our blade does come down, and so it could possibly even take your finger off if you were depressing the blade. So anytime we're using it, we need to make sure that we're keeping our hands away from the blade. This lever down here, it does depress. So you guys can see it raises and lowers our blade right here. So we always want to make sure that the handle of this is all the way back so that that blade can't come down and smash our fingers and make us bleed. Anytime that we're operating the machine, we want to make sure that the finger guard is on it. I do not want to see you guys operating this, trying to make your bow here if your finger guard is not on. So always make sure to keep your fingers and your hands away from this whole area until you're ready to use it making your bow. Now you guys will see this long arm right here. So some things about this arm, it does fold right here. And so if you are moving the machine, you need to make sure you can pinch yourself really easily. So you need to make sure not to do that. Okay, don't pinch yourself. You guys will also notice that I have my ribbon on my holder right here. So always put your ribbon there. That way the ribbon is not on the floor. It's really easy to kind of get tangled up in the ribbon and you can fall. You also make sure right here, you can see our ribbon is glided through this little piece right here. So this is a ribbon guide. So it holds our ribbon up so that we're able to make our bow. It also keeps our ribbon from getting folded and getting twisted. So you want to make sure, you guys can also look and see there's different sizes of this guide depending on the size of the ribbon that you're using. And we'll look more at ribbon sizes later on. Right here, you will notice that there are these kind of like long peg arms. Let me see if I can tip this. So you guys can see these longer peg tips. There's a little hole in one of these where we slide our ribbon. Sliding our ribbon through this little hole right here, through this little arm, it secures our ribbon and it keeps it from falling. So it helps kind of secure it so we're not constantly trying to pick up our ribbon and hold it in our hands. Right down here, this area, this arm, okay, it does swing. So you need to make sure as you're operating this that you're not swinging this, because it can hit your fingers, it can hit your arm, it can pinch you. So you want to make sure that you're keeping this balanced. Also right here, there is a sizing guide. So we can make bows as small as 6 inches. We can make bows all the way up to 16 inches on this bow making machine. So we want to make sure that we are setting the size of our ribbon, or setting the size of our bow. So we can take and we can kind of move these little arms right here. We can move them and change them depending on the size of our bow that we're making. So we can do that. Now, as we go through, we're going to feed our ribbon onto our bow making machine. We have little clips right here to hold the ribbon. Okay, so I have clipped the ribbon right here. So as I go to make my first turn, you can see when I am turning, my hands are not here. So we're gonna turn our head like so, matching up our bow. Okay, like so. And the whole time I'm using the clip of our clothespin to hold and secure the ribbon. My fingers are not there. Once our arm is balanced, then I can go through and I can adjust the ribbon, make sure that it's stacking on top of itself the way that it should be. But we're always using the clothespins to hold and secure the ribbon. When I go to get ready to use the blade, I'm going to remove the finger guard, pull the blade forward. We're going to make sure that our ribbon is in the very center of our blade. Depress the arm, okay? So I'm gonna depress the arm, okay? Make sure that it is in the very center of our ribbon. Depress all the way down. Our fingers are not in the way. Pulling up on our ribbon to make sure that we've got one good cut. And then we're gonna push our lever back and we're gonna pull out. And you guys can notice that it has cut into our ribbon. It's cut some little indentations right here so that we can go through and we can wire our bow. We can tie it with actual ribbon if we need to make an actual bow. But that is the safety regarding our bow making machine.